Here we go. Hi, and welcome to just a run through of Habits of the Common House Ghost. My name is Weston Humphreys, and I wrote this game. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Joining me today, we have Adela.
Hi, I'm Adela. I use she, her pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at Aredel, AREDHEL__, or buy my games at flowerfay.itch.io.
And Allie.
Hey, I'm Allie. I use he, they pronouns. I don't really have too much to plug, but you can find me on Twitter at Muddy Hughes.
Great. And Carter.
Hey, I'm Carter. I also use he, they pronouns. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Dismal Orient, that's lowercase d, uppercase O. Because I love to make things easy
Cool.
for myself.
And any pronouns are fine for me. I didn't say that earlier. And if you're here, you probably already know how to find me. All right. So we're just gonna dive in and run through this game. So Habits of the Common House Ghost is a slice of life RPG that takes place over the course of a day of interrupted routines. We're going to be using lines and veils, which are a set of preemptive tools that help all players be on the same page regarding what they are comfortable talking about and describing during the game. Habits of the Common House Ghost is a pretty soft game, but it is about ghosts, so it can touch on things like death. And so especially if players have things regarding that they don't want to come up, that's the kind of thing that's great to put down. Or if you just have are squeamish about anything like bugs, for instance. We'll also be using the X card. We probably won't need to use it, but it's there if we do. And the X card is just, it covers anything that didn't come up during the lines and veils. Somebody can just say X or stop or post X in the chat. And at that time, we will rewind a little bit and not do whatever we were just about to do. Whoever plays the X card doesn't have to explain why they did, though they can if they want. Yeah, this game should take us about 2 hours to play, and just all we need is some dice and a coin. So the first thing we're going to do is put together the setting. The game takes place in the real world, but can take place at any point in time in history and anywhere in the world. So we're just going to decide that stuff. So all the things that we have to decide are what year is it, what season is it, what part of the world does our story take place in, and what is the name of the town or city. It can be real, should be real if possible, and then what is the size and population of the town. One of the benefits of picking a real place is we can just Google it. But yeah.
Can we do a snowy winter ghost story?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I skipped the first question, but
Yeah. I read them all because they kind of like can inform each other.
Mhm.
So like it's fine to start with any of them. Winter. I love it.
What year is it?
Yeah.
Do we want a modern ghost or a historical ghost?
Hmm.
And if historical, how historical? But yeah, just deciding like modern or historical is probably a good starting point there.
Prehistoric definitely catches my eye, but I don't think I could play that right now, so we'll pick.
Sure.
Tell me
Winter
if you guys-
prehistoric sounds like one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Although it would be fun, I feel like. I was gonna say, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I feel like, tell me if this is played out. Like a Victorian ghost.
We can absolutely do a Victorian winter ghost.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh, I love it. I love it, actually.
I think that's great. So,
yeah, me too.
if we're doing Victorian, are we doing England?
Ooh.
Or is this just
Gotta be,
Victorian
right? Like,
era
that's where
anywhere?
Victorian.
I mean, yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it would be doing it to this. Well, I don't know. It could be like no, Victorian does have very like England vibes.
Yeah. I think we could do
Yeah.
Victorian.
Like, Victorian style might have influenced other places, but if we want quintessential,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we gotta do it in
Then,
England.
you need the man.
So is it like countryside or is it like London proper? Or?
I say we look at a map of England and pick our favorite town name because
I
there are
love
some
that
great,
idea.
great
very
town
good.
names.
Pudding stock or something like
England map. Just
Yeah.
make up words that sound like English town names until we.
And it probably is.
Yeah, probably is.
Just
Okay.
verbally tossing darts at the
Wait,
map.
no. Instead of should we do a map or should we do like a list of English town names? Because like a map might just only have big cities.
We should do a list.
England town name list.
that. Okay. Oh, I love these, but there are so many in the B and S sections. Queensborough is very England sounding.
That actually makes me think Australia, but no, that is pretty England.
Oh yeah, I can see it as Australian too.
Nantwich.
What?
Northwich.
Yeah. I love the ones that are like 3 words in one, like Newark on
Yes.
Trent.
I love those as well.
Oh, I love.
Wait, Barrow in Furness?
Ooh,
sorry?
yeah.
Barrow is a great name for a town if we're with the ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, we could continue looking. I just yeah.
So the one on the list I found, which is amusing and strange UK place names, is Giggleswick.
What? Okay, we kind of have to use that one, don't we?
Yeah, I think we have to use that one now.
Yeah.
It's in West Yorkshire.
All right, let's look it up.
Great.
How do you spell that?
It's
Giggle.
I'll paste it, but then I'll spell it. It's Gigggleswick.
Oh, it's exactly like it.
Exactly how it sounds. Yeah.
In all
Turns out.
nearly just made me lose it. So
It's a village. It looks so funny on a map with that word. It's just great.
I love that
the
it's
population
in all caps.
is the population is 1,270 as of 2011.
That's good enough.
Wait, is that town sized or city? Is it like a town or a city?
It's a village.
It's a village.
According to Wikipedia, I would call that a town. Well, I guess that's a village. A town.
I'm gonna say there were like 200 people there in Victorian era. Then.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can look that up.
You probably can.
Wick.
Yeah, it depends on how long you've been doing their
Victorian era population. Maybe it didn't even exist in the Victorian era. Who knows?
The new village.
Oh yeah.
It
was a house.
A single house.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just linking me back to the Wikipedia page again.
Apparently, they were a bunch of people were there to observe the solar eclipse in 1927.
I see that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's at least
Nice.
1927 old. We know that much.
I saw something in the Google like preview thing that said something about Victorian era, but I don't know which section of the Wikipedia it's in.
Wikipedia contains the entry, and they spell Giggleswick. Oh God. Giggelleswic.
Oh, here we go. The film and stage actor Clarence Blackiston, 1864 to 1943, was born in Giggleswick. So it did exist during the Victorian era because that person was born during the Victorian era or before the Victorian era.
Yeah. 3 people born there during the Victorian era.
What was that?
At least 3 people were born there during the Victorian era.
So We're good.
That's a village. 3 people is a village.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So 200 still sound good?
Yeah. We're not
Okay.
going to play a game with 3 people. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's our setting. Next up is our ghost. And so we have several characteristics for our ghost, and those can inform each other as well. So I'll just read them all real quick. What's our ghost's name? What are our ghost's pronouns? What does our ghost look like? They are the ghosts of a person, but we can get creative with how they look. One of my favorites is that they're shaped by some ideal they held in life, which is pretty fun. But also we can do whatever we want, obviously. But and then your ghost carries an immortal memento from when they were alive. What is it? And where does your ghost call home? Remember, they have hobbies, and maybe they decorate and stuff, so their home should reflect that. We don't need to know when they died, how they died, or what their life was like before they died. That stuff will either come up or it won't, but it's not stuff we have to know now.
Right.
I like the idea of the ghost name being what the locals call them.
Yeah, that one's very fun.
Okay.
I have to look up what people in England were scared of now. What would be like a scared British name? Yeah.
English ghosts.
Wasn't the oh man, I feel like that's like a whole
Black Lady of
genre.
Bradley Woods, Blue Cat.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
The
That's
Ratman, the
spooky.
Called
Ratman
lad
of
of-
Southend.
Called Lad of Hilton. Nice. Dando's Dogs.
Ooh, that one sounds like a movie.
Drummer of Tedworth. Hairy Hands.
I went to.
I kind of like adjective. Oh, what were you saying, Carter?
No, I cheated and went to the fantasy name generator. So of the 5 that are like names, there's the Headless Orphan, the Tombstone Soldier, the Light Knight, the Crying Gatekeeper, and the Invited Nurse.
The Ratman of Southend.
I like that one.
That's pretty iconic.
Some of these
Okay.
are just normal names. Any other?
Are they allowed to put the Wild Hunt in here? That's not like a ghost, right?
That's not
the wild...
a ghost. That is many ghosts.
Yeah, that seems like it's cheating.
That is so
I
many
kind of
ghosts.
like
They
the
also
idea
have
of
Brownie
like.
in here, which is just a fairy. So.
Oh yeah. I like the idea of like adjective of Giggleswick, like
Yeah.
like the
Adjective
so if
name
not
of Giggleswick.
Like this one's
Yeah.
name is like Drummer of Tedworth, which is very fun.
right, something like that, like
Yeah.
like Hollow Bones of Giggleswick or something like that.
Ooh, I like Hol. What
I
about
like
just
hollow.
yeah? What about just the Hollow of Giggleswick? But we spell hollow
Oh,
like
the Hollow.
Yeah.
but
Hollow
it's
of
spelled
Giggleswick.
it's spelled like HALLO, like a
But
hallow.
pronounced hollow because
Yeah.
Oh,
English.
Because English.
The English, yeah, the English. You know what? They're always getting up to stuff like that.
The Hollow of Giggleswick.
Nice.
It made Giggleswick sound threatening. We did it.
Good job, us.
They said it couldn't be done. Okay. So we still need pronouns, memento, and where they live.
Yeah.
Oh, I put it in the wrong spot.
Like. Yeah. And what they look like.
What do they look like?
Yeah. Well, they call them a hollow.
So if you're the hollow.
Yeah.
So the
I wonder
thing
what
is,
that means.
well, like the actual definition is like, well, the archaic definition for noun is just a saint or a holy person. So like, that implies something about mixed hollow here.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Wonder if they're like...
Were they clergy? They were a cleric
Ooh.
in the Regency era,
Oh.
and now they're a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if they like low-key glow.
Ooh,
You know,
They've got like a
yes.
holy aura about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They're-
What color is the glow? Like white or blue or
Like a
any-
soft
anything?
yellow, maybe, or something like that.
Soft yellow is what I was
Soft yellow.
picturing.
Or like if
Yeah.
we want to
Okay.
like get all up on our BS with this, we could be like it's yellow like the street lamps or something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know why you have to. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
We
Yeah,
don't need those
why not?
qualifiers. That sounds amazing. I think it even flickers like that. You
Yeah.
know?
Ooh, flickering soft yellow of like street lamps. Yeah, which I think they
Yeah.
had like kerosene street lamps in at that time, or
Yeah, they had like physically
oil?
refill them and stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
You know that the hollow
Okay.
of Giggleswick is arriving when the street lamps start to flicker.
Ooh, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So like anytime like your fire flickers more than it should or anything like that, you think
Yeah,
the hollow's coming.
your
And I
candle
think
flickers
like
without a wind. Yeah.
and I think it is just an outline. You know? Like
Mm.
it's like they're always being
Yeah.
silhouetted by this. And if you got
Ooh,
close to them, you'd be able to
yeah.
see their features and stuff, but like they're being like haloed by this.
So it's just a
You know,
silhouette
but like a
with
full
this
body.
light.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's almost like they're always lit from behind, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
This does all sound and look sick as shit, but all I can think of is like every single Zoom call I've had to make where I'm like with my back to a window and the sun's coming through into my face.
The
Yeah.
vibes.
Yep.
Yep. That is the vibes. Spooky.
The vibes spooky. What
Yeah.
it
All right, our memento.
yeah.
What about like, oh man,
So is this something that the ghost carries with them, or
Yeah. Yeah, they should
Yeah.
always
They should always
they
have
should
it
always
with
have
them.
it on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost want to do like rosary beads or something like that.
Ooh.
I'm into it. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're
like,
if we're going with like the hollow as like a figure of faith thing,
Yeah.
That does make them a Catholic in Victorian England, but
That's true.
That's an interesting
That
thing.
is true. Yeah. But I mean, do we need to
we
be
don't know when
historically
they died
accurate?
though.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
What
true.
was
Yeah.
what was Regency
This is
England
true.
like if they died then, or way back? Who knows?
Yeah, it could have been whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're dressed like a monk. Like
Ooh, I like that.
like a medieval monk.
Okay,
Like this is
okay.
Victorian
Yeah.
England, but they're like a medieval era sackcloth.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Friar
Okay,
John or
okay,
whatever
yeah.
from Romeo and
Yes. Yeah.
Juliet. Yeah.
This is amazing. Okay, where do they live?
The Hollow Friar of Giggleswick.
Yeah.
What
Or
if
the
we're-
Hollow
what if-
Monk, which is also good.
I have two ideas. Oh
Okay.
yeah, either one of those is great. My two ideas are either A, like the church that it sounds like a he him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
The church that he used to work in it got torn down and now there's a house on top of it and
Ooh.
he lives there, or like he straight up lives in a cave, but it's
I really like the idea of him living in a
Nice.
house, especially if it's like a house that people also live in, like
Mhm.
living people
yeah.
also live
Yeah.
in. And
Yeah.
maybe it like changes owners really often because people are like, this is weird living with a
Oh.
ghost.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet
This
it's
also
ghost is so
because-
dramatic for our taste. Yeah.
I bet it's
so
literally built
dramatic
on
and
the
also, like-
foundation of the church. Oh, go ahead. What were you saying, Carter?
Yeah, and also I imagine like he might. I like the idea that he follows the floor plan of the church and not the house. So sometimes
Oh,
he
yeah.
stops in the middle of a wall or something
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
So that's like the large scale where he lives, and then like, what's his like? Is there like?
Does he have a room?
Oh,
I mean, it
I
would be
think-
his.
okay.
It would be whatever his cell was in the. I guess
Yeah.
because it would have been a what do you call it? As an abbey? No, a monastery.
Yeah.
It would have
Monastery.
been a monastery. Yeah.
I also imagine like something like that would probably be a lot taller than your average house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even.
Does that mean he's often just walking around in the air above the house?
Or like, yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool. I wonder. Okay, here's my pitch, and I don't know. This might not be historically accurate at all. But what if there was like almost like a safe room,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like where he lives, and people who buy the house don't know it's there. It's like in the
Yeah.
basement, and it's like behind a bookshelf or whatever, and he doesn't have to move the bookshelf. Like it's just
Yeah.
like an old like storage shelf with like canned goods on it that have been there,
Mm-hmm.
It's like
for a
when
very long time.
it's like when you like
Yeah.
when people tear down like the walls in their house sometimes, and there's just like a whole secret room behind there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, like maybe even somebody built over it at some point, but he
Yeah.
doesn't care. It doesn't.
It's a ghost.
Or
He doesn't
Okay.
maybe
care.
he cared at one point, but he's beyond caring at this point because it's been long enough.
Right.
He's just like, this is just what life is like now.
Okay. Lives in a
Yes,
secret
I like
room
her.
in the basement of a house built on the foundation of his church. It's pretty evocative, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Great. Medieval monk in Victorian England. Okay. Cool. That's that. Now we're on to our daily routine. So, play will take place over the course of one day in the life of our ghost. And so we're going to decide what a typical day looks like for him. The day is broken into 4 parts: morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime. And so right now we're going to describe those routines, and we're going to be as specific as we can because we want to have a pretty good idea of what their day looks like. So first we decide what day of the week it is, because our ghost might their routine might look the same on weekdays, but will probably be different on the weekend, especially like Sundays for this ghost, right?
Especially-
Like they might still like stand like somewhere and just like preach for a while. And if you happen to be standing in the wrong spot, you can hear them or something.
I really
Yeah.
like that. I also do want to say, like, I feel like we should, like, I feel like it would be more interesting if the ghost's routine has changed since he was alive. So, like, I
That's
like
true,
the
that's
idea
true.
that he would still do that, like, on Sunday mornings or something, but the rest of the time he has a different routine that he's kind of developed over the hundreds of years or whatever.
I like that a lot, actually. So yeah, it's like almost like it like keeps him feeling grounded. He doesn't do it because he's stuck in it like some like ghosts like
Just
we think
like-
of. He does it to like keep himself, like to remind him of who he was. kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Also, like, he's still on Earth. He's not in heaven. He's got duties. He's a friar.
Yeah,
He'll-
earthly
He'll light
duties.
the
Yeah.
candles
That's
as long
really
as he
interesting.
can.
Yeah. Wow. Implications. Okay.
So do we want to do Sunday, or do we want to just know that happens on Sundays but do a different day?
Maybe a different day, I think.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting to do a different day
Yeah.
because we kind of already talked about that, and like
It's
you
just
know.
colorization to know that he preaches on Sundays.
Right.
Some
Okay.
background color.
So yeah. So some weekday. Let's just pick one. Anybody feel a pull towards a certain weekday?
Wednesday.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't make a huge difference for that bit, but so then the morning routine. What does our ghost do in the morning to get ready for the day? I'm going to start just calling him Hollow until.
Yeah, I like that.
As shorthand.
I think Hollow gets up pretty early, right? Because usually people of faith are real keen about that kind of thing.
Cool. I'm going to do this. Gets up early. Then what?
I don't know.
Maybe
coffee in Victorian England yet? I think we'll do.
I mean, they maybe like tea or something.
Yeah.
Did they have tea? I mean, they had to have the tea. Yeah.
They definitely had tea.
Yeah.
They extremely had tea in Victoria.
Or everything I know is wrong. Yeah. Okay. Makes tea. In the secret room.
Makes tea and goes up to like an observatory, where an observatory in the monastery was. So like basically walks up into the air several flights and then sits up there sipping his tea.
Yeah. Like you can see him going up spiral staircase.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's so cool.
Like a bell tower sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sips. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder, so that's probably the kind of thing where like when it's when it's short days, like the winter, you can see him doing that. But like when the sun gets up before he does, then you can't see him going up there.
Yeah.
It also gives us a good reason to set this in the winter, which is nice. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So maybe he just sits up there, sips his tea, and he like will set it on something that nobody can see. You know, I mean, they probably can't even tell he's setting tea down, but we know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if this was a show or a movie, it would get framed in the sense of like we would see flashes of the old place. You know, we can see it for a second what he's like setting something on, and then we see him just floating in the air. It's like, and when we see him in the setting stuff on things, you know, we see like his old form, you know, and then it like will switch and we just see the outline and like I think like all the features are shadowed, you know, it's not like you know, they're not like scary and menacing, it's just like the same thing, but you know, severely backlit like a Zoom call where you can't really make out the features very well, but you can tell where the nose is and things.
Hollow, you're on mute. Hollow, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Christ.
Oh no.
That's pretty scary, actually. Telling a ghost they're on mute.
Yeah.
Let's say like walk towards you. Great. Okay. Does anything else happen in the morning? I'm fine with that being it, or is there more?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I feel like he would have a pretty quiet life. Maybe.
Yeah. It was probably quiet before, you know.
Yeah.
Like because it was probably even smaller then, you know. It's just like a bunch of farms and then with a church somewhere nearby that people would go to. Okay. Afternoon routine. Somehow the afternoon tends to be the longest part of the day. What does your ghost do to keep busy? Do they have a job that they go to, or does something at home keep them occupied?
Does he make like house visits?
Oh my goodness!
I love
absolutely.
That's so much better than the idea I was going to say.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, well, because Monk. I just thought, oh well, since he's down in like the basement, like he there must be like a place he goes to just copy out manuscripts. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
He could definitely do that at some point in the day. I feel like that could be an evening activity.
Yeah, actually. So during the day,
Yeah.
he makes visits, and then
yeah,
that's great. I mean, and I think make house visits is specific but general enough that we can play with that pretty broadly. Like, I don't know that we need more than that, but if we want more than that, we can add it in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can answer in play whether those house visits are with living people who know that they are having a conversation with a ghost or not.
For sure. And I mean, my immediate answer to that is like, why not both? You know, like I think it like could easily be like both
visit
of those
people
things.
who know that he's visiting, visit people who don't know that he's visiting, also visit ghosts.
Anybody who needs it. Yep. And then the evening routine, maybe he just thinks it's really soothing to copy manuscripts. And when somebody does finally find that room, it's just going to be like chock full of books.
Ooh,
that are like hand bound and stuff.
What if he copies? He's copying manuscripts, but he's like copying the all of the books in the house that are owned by that whatever family lives in that house right now, because by now he's like after centuries he's definitely run out of whatever was in the monastery. So
he manuscripted the whole Bible, and he's just like, "What's next? What do I have to do?"
So now he just does novels and whatever else other books.
Just whatever's in the house.
And
someone brought a box set of Daniel Steele, and he just copied out the entire thing.
That's a flash forward, but I love it.
Yeah, it's like
had some technical difficulties in there for some reason. The sound just dropped out, but we had finished talking about the evening routine for the Hollow and had just started talking about the nighttime routine.
Hollow is and like raise ectoplasmic sheep.
Sounds gooey. Yeah.
I needed a sub in for electric. The reference isn't gonna work.
I think No. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the sort of like being a I can't really, I don't know how to word it.
So like are you thinking about like a specific
almost like prophet kind of vibes where it's like
so like visions.
Yeah, you know that Brian David Gilbert quote where it's like your screams come to me like a prophet receiving visions from an angry god thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go in that direction.
That's really interesting. What if they're okay? I kind of like that. Like, I'm willing to lean into that kind of like semi-religious spiritual thing for these dreams. Like, what if they're like the coziest visions you could have? Like, they're not like super pertinent. They're not like warnings. They're just like, I'm pretty sure this is from God. And I'm just chilling. Like, this is kind of nice.
Almost like God being like, you're doing great, bud. Like that.
Yeah.
Like we left you there for a reason. Like you're still doing the right stuff. Yeah. Yeah, just like cozy comfort visions.
What if part of that sometimes is like visions of like the aftermath of his house visits? So like if he did a house visit that like really changed someone's day or like made them like has a really positive impact, then he gets a vision of that so that it like he feels fulfilled with what he did.
I almost like the idea that when he dreams and he sees these things, like they haven't necessarily happened yet. Like if he talks to somebody and they make a decision like 30 years from now or whatever that conversation changed.
Good point.
Yeah.
I like that.
I also like the idea. I like I want that to happen, and I also think it'd be cool if like sometimes he receives like specific instruction on like hey,
who
like
he needs to visit and that
so
kind
and
of thing.
so's like cousin is visiting and they need you to talk to him, kind of a thing. Like
Yeah,
it's not like specific like do this, like go there and say this. It's more like they need what you have, kind of a thing.
So, hey, if you see this person around,
yeah, right, yeah, more that kind of stuff. So all right, so the dreams let hello see
every time I read that, I'm gonna think about that song.
what song?
The hello. The meme one.
I don't
Struggle
know
Setting
what
Day.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
The Numa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the one that goes Allo, Salud, Sunteo, Un Haiduk, Yada
yeah.
Yada. There's a bit where he also does the Allo again. Because he's on the phone with someone.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's that. We did that pretty quick, actually. Well, I mean, this is like a 2-hour game, and this takes up half of it, and that's about right. We're on track. Great. That's all that means. Okay.
We're just so good at the game. Yeah.
We're so good at it. We're real practiced. Okay, so now comes like the more like storytelling bit. This is where we get into the interruptions. So not every day goes according to plan, and this one's about to go off the rails. For each part of the day, we choose an option or roll a 6-sided dice on the table to find out how the day goes. I think it's always more interesting to to roll.
Yeah.
And then so if we roll something and we don't love it, or it's been rolled before, we can flip a coin, and on heads we move up 1 in the table, and on tails we move down 1.
Cool.
The table. So it's not a wide variance with a coin flip, but it can just kind of move you off a prompt that you're not excited about or has been done already. Yeah. So so each of these interruptions will play out in a short scene involving the other players as NPCs, and then we'll rotate who plays the ghost. And since there's 4 of us, we'll each take on 1 time of day, and that's kind of how that rolls out. So whoever is playing the ghost in the morning, for instance, will roll the 2 d6 to find out what the interruption is. Yeah. And the cool thing is all of these are super interesting. Like none of them are going to get stuck with like something lame, which I mean should honestly never happen, but sometimes.
Did I miss how we get all these numbers from 2d6?
Yeah. The first digit is one of the dice, and then the second digit is the other die.
Oh, that makes sense. Got it.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yep. 1 is the tens place, 1 is the ones place. Yep. That's why they only go up to 6.
How do we get 66 prompts? And then I was like, wait, why does it start at 11? Okay, got it.
That's why. Yeah. So there's only actually 36 prompts. That's Yeah.
All right.
Anybody feeling a pull towards the bell tower?
I will do it if no one else wants to. I just feel like I've been talking a lot already.
Yeah, I can take.
Now go for it
first.
Carter, go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah. So actually, do I roll the dice to figure out the interruption, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me see if I remember syntax for rolling.
Exclamation point.
There you go.
61.
Yeah, you did it. 61.
Ooh. Good roll.
That's dramatic. A friend comes to you shaking and terrified.
And you're in the bell tower.
Then
So I guess
maybe ghost, right?
That's
because the bell tower is like 50 feet above these people's house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it might only be like 2 stories. I don't know how tall monasteries are, but like, yeah,
That's fair.
Off the roof, essentially.
Yeah. Well, you're in a bell tower. I would love to say 3 stories.
Yeah, I would say at
amazing.
least three stories. But
what if he has like a bird friend or something?
Yeah. So I think one thing, I don't know if I made it super clear in the rules. That might be something I need to update. But Carter, you get to kind of set the scene. I mean, we can suggest stuff, obviously, but you can kind of be like, okay, so I think there's this other ghost, or there's a bird, or whatever, or somebody comes on the roof and is shouting at me. And you can kind of set the scene and like introduce a character, and then be like, who wants to play that character, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, you say, to be fair, the prompt is specifically a friend, though you mentioning like someone comes on the roof and starts shouting on you, like I think I could picture like
I could picture one of my friends doing that. Yeah.
I think I could. Well, no, I mean, I could picture like, I don't know, like the kid or something in the house is sitting on the roof in the early morning, and then abruptly notices like this glowing man walking out of the roof.
They just moved in or something? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not friend, but if I were sitting on the roof and a glowing stranger just appears and continues ascending, I would be deeply concerned.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Sipping on hot tea.
What are strangers but friends we haven't made yet? Am I right?
Yeah, so. Yeah,
Okay.
Who wants to play what I'm assuming is either a disaffected tween or teen?
I'm down to play a disaffected, yeah. Or like, are we doing a teen or is it like a kid? I guess teens are kids.
For like an older kid.
Okay, older kid.
So not quite like teen, but like 8 to 10.
Which in the Victorian age, 12 was still like a child, and teenager was like, you're basically an adult now. So
right. A hard transition.
Teenagers weren't invented yet.
I think like I don't know. I guess Carter's setting the scene, but like maybe this kid sneaks up here in the morning, like to do maybe
at this point you can kind of take over the kid, I think, like
yeah
for sure.
Okay. Maybe it's like what was school like in Victorian England?
Maybe this is the holiday break. Or they just moved in.
Winter.
It would kind of also depend on the like social class of this family.
Yeah, because they might not send the kid to school.
Either the kid might be working, the kid might be going to like a schoolhouse, or the kid might be like being tutored, depending on. Yeah.
I'm picturing this family as rich, right? Like, because I feel like this is a fancy house.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's built on a church, which has its own whole thing with it. Yeah.
Right.
Also, I like the idea of it being break, so that the kids just going up there to throw snowballs at people from the roof.
Oh my goodness!
Early in the morning.
The town with snowballs.
Yeah, there's just like the baker or whatever is coming by, and he just likes throwing snowballs at people who really
love to terrorize the common people at 5 o'clock in the morning with snowballs from the roof.
Yeah.
What a kid.
Okay.
Also, I just
What
want
is
to say
this?
off the bat, I don't want to do a bad British accent, so
I don't think
That's
I
fine.
also do not.
I
I'm
was
willing
not going
to,
put on.
but
I was not going to put on a character voice.
yeah.
if you've watched the Kickstarter video, you already know that I'm willing to do a bad British accent. Fade in and out of it willy nilly.
It was great.
So, what is this 12-year-old's name? Just so we have a little context, because Hollow already knows it. Was it?
Yeah. I think it's a
Did you say
girl,
Earl?
maybe. No, a
Oh.
girl. Yeah. Earl is a fun
A
rich
girl
kid
named
name.
Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earlene.
Erlene. I like Erlene. Yeah,
Sounds
Erlene.
good.
Erlene Jolene, maybe like the
That's probably
girl from the
IR.
song. Yeah.
No, don't autocorrect me.
Ah, yes. The young
said what I
lady
meant.
airline.
Yeah.
Like to watch the town with snowballs. I like
A
this.
very active form of watching. But
Okay.
I think, like, I don't know. Do you want to set the scene, Carter, or should I?
I mean, the scene existed in my head only as much as like the Hollow starts walking out of the roof and then gets spotted and then the screaming starts.
Yeah. So maybe Allie, you could start the scene with like a little preamble of like give us a little bit of a scene of Erlene throwing a snowball and then like spotting Hollow.
Yeah, I think Erlene, like, I don't know who would be going about early in the morning. Maybe the news people or they had like papers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the news person coming by the house.
Yeah.
The milk delivery. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Milkman.
I almost like the image of like one of the people from what's that play named with the news boys or news
Newsies?
yeah, like a Newsies style. How I don't know, when did that play happen? Anyways,
Much
it's
later,
like that,
but that's fine.
yeah, it's fine. But like one of those people, and she throws the snowball and it hits him and he like looks up and he does the fish shaking thing and she like snickers to herself.
The rascal.
Yeah, and then she like turns around. I don't know why. Maybe it's cold up here. There's a stiff wind or something.
Well, she's got to reach for her other snowballs, right?
Oh, she does need more snow. She needs to restock. Yeah, she needs to restock her snowballs, and that's when she like. There's like a glow coming from above her. She's not quite sure. Like, it's not supposed to be morning yet. You know.
Yeah. Wait. Here's another thought, because I'm assuming there's like snow on the roof, and that's what you're using to make the snowballs.
Yeah.
So like you moved towards the pile where like you were going to make another snowball, and now there's like a face coming out of it. Because it's just then that Hollow is like making his way out of the roof and into the tower.
Amazing.
Yeah, she like
oh my
jumps.
Goodness.
She like jumps back a little bit as this face. It's not a face even. It's just like the top of like a person's head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like
oddly
she kind
shaved
of, like,
top of the head.
Yeah. I imagine this Hollow is somebody, I don't know. I'm just thinking about that character from Romeo and Juliet, and like the friars that's the only friar I have as my point of reference, but he's bald. So
yeah, Friar Tuck is where I'm.
Yeah, same.
My main reference point.
That's mine.
From the Disney, one with the foxes and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
That's my main reference point, so don't worry about it.
But yeah.
I imagine like Erlene sees the top of Hollow's head poking out and kind of like goes back on her hands a little bit as the head keeps like raising out of the house.
Does she slip?
Ooh.
Oh.
It's pretty snowy up here.
Oh.
I think she begins to slip, but I don't know that she fully just takes a nosedive off the house or anything like that.
Yeah, I think sliding and then well, here's the question: does she shout or exclaim or something?
I mean, I don't think it's I don't think she's like, whoa, whoa, or like words or something. But I think it's it is an exclamation of surprise.
Just ah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that also startles Hollow, who drops his cup of tea halfway through the roof.
Yeah, I almost like if the tea does hit the roof and the snow melts there.
Ooh,
Yes, yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah, so
and the cup
this
actually clatters.
Yeah.
Yes, I think this is what happens. So Earlene shouts, Hallow also shouts and sort of jumps a little, but because he's a ghost, it just sort of sends him floating a little. And that's when he drops the cup and it lands on the roof and melts the snow. Whoops. Sorry about your prank there, buddy.
I think, I mean, listen, Earlene is a very studious child. I think she knows what the concept of ghosts are.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, are you some kind of ghost? Why did I do a British accent? I said I wasn't going to do that.
You did it! You just couldn't help it.
I couldn't help it.
You're in the zone.
It's character happening. So yeah, Hallow's just makes flustered old man noises, and then it's that.
I think Earlene takes scoots back a little bit further, and is like, "You gonna possess me?"
No, I like my body, my body, I guess. Fine. What are you doing on this roof? Normally, there's no one here.
I just like to be up here in the morning, kind of getting woken up.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then she begins to make another snowball again.
Wow, she was not scared for very long.
I think she's doing it and she's thinking maybe if I hit him with a snowball, he'll go away.
Oh.
Do you think this house is rumored to be haunted, and so she kind of was has been waiting to see a ghost since she moved in?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you think that people in general know oh yeah, that house is haunted?
I feel yeah, if you see him climbing his spiral staircase in the winter, people
I almost like this being the first night or first week that his family has moved in, kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe Earlene is really grumpy about having moved. She didn't want to move, and that's why she's acting out by going on the roof and throwing snowballs at people.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. And she's like, Mom told me to look out for you.
Did she? How does she feel about extra lodgers?
I don't think she's very keen on them.
Well, that's a pity. Say, what are you going to do with that snowball?
Oh, well, I was wondering, would you like to throw a snowball?
Wait, I've never...
No, should I back up, actually, in this scene? Because I'm supposed to be scared, aren't I? Shaking and terrified.
It's okay.
Okay.
Whatever you want
Follow
at
the
this point.
story.
Yeah. The prompt got us here. Now we can just go forward.
Yeah, we can stick closer to the next prompt, maybe. But yeah. I mean, I like where the scene's going, so...
Yeah, me too.
He
Would you like to throw a snowball?
Molds up a snowball, and she doesn't get closer to Hollow, but she offers it out in the hand.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Hollow just sort of looks down at where the tea continues to slide down the roof, just kind of sighs, and then takes the snowball. Snowball.
Now just wait for somebody to turn that corner there, and open fire.
Wait, hang on. You're using the snow to harass the villagers. This is what you're doing with your time.
Harass is one way to word it. Maybe.
Young lady,
there's nothing else to do in this town. I'm bored.
Young lady, there are plenty of things to do if you set your mind to it.
Like what?
Well, I was going to head upstairs and take my cup of tea before I was interrupted. But
not my fault you're on our roof.
Hallow starts to say, but it's my roof, and then thinks better of it. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You could go for a walk. You could go bird watching. You could build something with the snow instead of hurling it at passersby. I've heard children like to build these things called snowmen.
I am building something. I'm building chaos. She does this kind of wah ha 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 ha, like a little evil thing.
At this point, Hallow just sighs and prays to whichever saint it is that you pray to for patience, and says, I'm going to make myself another cuppa, and goes back downstairs.
Great.
Nice.
Is that scene?
I think so.
I like that, yeah.
Cool. Sounds like scene. So there's just this vaguely vague animosity between these two
rivals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rivals.
Immediate rivals.
Love to be rivals with a centuries old glowing ghost monk.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Afternoon then?
Yeah. Who wants to do afternoon? Make some house visits. And I'll jump in wherever, but I want people to do what they want. People could even claim one later if they wanted to, and so then, if somebody's like, I'm really interested in nighttime or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do the dreams.
Okay.
I'd be interested in that.
Adela, which one do you want to do?
I think I want to do the evening.
Okay. I will do right now. All right. Roll. 44. What is that? Oh, great. Okay. I'm gonna flip just because I can, and I have never. Okay, got a coin here.
You have the big coin.
Yeah. Just for the recording, 44 was your memento starts glowing and floating in the air, which we already do that as a ghost.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
that's kind of our thing. I'll flip a coin on the with rolling a D2 in our Discord, just so everybody can see what I get. So 1 is heads and 2 is tails. 1D2. Okay, 1. So I go up which is I realize I'm being watched.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what this looks like is Hollow is going from house to house. He's I guess I can say I visited. I think there's like an elderly woman who lives with her family with her daughter and son-in-law and their kids, but she spends a lot of time in bed or just kind of on her own, and I visit her and tell her stories that I've read and things like that. And she knows me, like it's not a surprise, it's not freaky anymore.
Anymore.
And I've visited a few other people who just work really hard. I think there's like a bunch of people around here that are just like farmers, just trying to do their best, just trying to survive. And I don't so much talk to them as I just kind of do like small tasks that if they saw that they were done, they would just think that they did them and were too tired to remember.
Sweeping the floor, that kind of thing.
Yeah, putting away some dishes, picking up some clothes, making a bed,
Nice.
whatever. Those, picking up some toys, whatever, that kind of stuff. Where if they saw it was done, they'd just think somebody else did it, or like it wouldn't be like this big weird thing. And I sat and like talked with somebody else who had passed, and somewhere in there I just and I think like it's been this like slow thing, like I keep noticing that like somebody's always like I keep getting a sense I'm being watched, and when I look there's nothing, but like I kind of can hear, like I know. And then after I leave my friend, I think we're like at a bench like near a pond or something like that, and we go our separate ways, and then a snowball passes straight through my head. And it's and there she is.
Erlene, you're being watched by Erlene?
Yeah, she's just been following me around all day.
She's got the day off school, right? It's on her holiday, so
we convinced her there was if you're going things to do.
Like
if you're going to be a nag,
like terrorize a poor ghost instead of the townspeople.
Yeah, if you're going to nag me about being rude to other people, then I will be rude to you.
Are you taking on Erlene Carter, or are you just saying something?
I mean, I'm down to if no one else wants.
Yeah, that's
Do
good.
It.
Yeah.
I love to play both sides of the rivalry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think when I I smile but kind of stare flatly, but you probably can't read my expression very well. Because I have a glowing aura.
Well, how do you do, Hallow? I've been working on my aim.
I can see that. It's much better than earlier. It kind of like does the shoulder brush off thing,
Do you think there is some sorry, I don't want to interrupt the scene. Do you think that there is some physicality to Hallow, and that like a little bit of snow does get on Hallow, like?
Sure. That's more interesting. Yeah, like there's like some dusting, like yeah, that's great.
There's just a little bit of glow coming through snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Well, you can stop being a fun ruiner, mostly. But I... um... But, yeah, I mean, is this all you do all day? Just be boring and go around talking to people?
If by all I do, you mean I take care of those who can no longer take care of themselves, then yes, that is all I do.
Yeah, you have no idea what fun means.
Come sit.
And she sort of makes a put upon sigh and then walks over and sits down.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like back at that bench. Like, I think I had only gotten a couple of steps away from it when he threw the snowball at me.
Uh-huh.
And so I think just say, you are new to Giggleswick.
Yes.
You do not seem happy here.
Well, no, I'm not. We had a perfectly fine house before, and now we're here, and I don't know anyone, and it's boring. I told you, it's boring.
Yes. The winter is not a very exciting time here. Everybody is simply trying not to starve. It is still a poor town. You will find that you have more than anyone else here. That puts you at a place of advantage.
Sure don't feel like it.
I can picture just like kicking the ground. You
Absolutely.
don't feel like it. Hollow just smiles at her and says, "How closely were you watching me? Did you see what I did?"
I mean, and she's like internally debating like how honest she can be without getting herself into trouble. I saw some of it. like I told you, it looked mostly like a lot of talking. That's what grown-ups do. They just talk to each other and don't do anything.
Yes. Well, talk is where everything else starts. See, before your parents moved here, they talked about it. Before somebody gives somebody else a sandwich, they talk about it. Before somebody decides to throw a snowball through my head, they talk about it. Even if that talk is only to themselves in their own mind. Every action starts with talk.
Yeah, mid-sentence she just sort of like closes her mouth on the objection she was going to give.
Yeah. Here, come with me. Let me show you what there is to do in this town.
Okay.
And I think the camera kind of I think the camera kind of pulls back, and we just kind of get like a montage of Erlene following Hollow, and like maybe
My
not
neighbor
at first
Hollow.
actively helping, but
Mhm.
like kind of being there and like seeing what's actually going on. And I don't know what that does to Erlene exactly, but I think she probably eventually starts like helping just because she's there, you know, like when he's like picking up stuff, or like, you know, finds a tool that was discarded earlier, you know, whatever, and puts it away, or and she just ends up helping out a little bit. But anyway, I think that's the afternoon.
Nice.
Love that.
I love it.
I also like the sort of affectation you pulled off his voice. Was very good. It was very monkey. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Oops.
Yeah, now that he's had his tea, he's less grumpy about it.
Yeah. Less snappy.
All right. I roll 63.
Ooh,
That's a
that's
big
almost
number.
the maximum. Yeah.
Mhm. You feel drawn to your grave. I literally just saw this as I was like glancing through the things. So I was like, okay.
Damn, that's a heavy one.
You want to try that, or you want to re-roll? Or, I mean, flip.
The one above it is like very similar. The one below it is completely different. So. For the audio, for the recording, I rolled you feel drawn to your grave, and the one above it is you feel drawn to the site of your death.
Which are very different places, to be fair, but
yes,
they're the same vibe, kind
Similar
of.
vibes.
Yeah.
But like, different experiences.
And the one below it is a friend comes to you, excited to share something with you, which is very different. I think I will flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think any of those could be interesting. So, that's a 1. So, you feel drawn to the site of your death.
Okay.
I had a vague idea and I completely lost it.
I'm gonna.
So,
I like to think that he. Okay, I guess I should let you. It's probably a peaceful day. I don't think anybody murdered this guy or anything like that.
Yeah. So this is evening. He's copying let's see, I'm gonna hang on, let me do some research.
Like Frankenstein or something.
I found the site of Victorian bestsellers. If you want to.
Oh yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Please, yes.
Yeah, so I posted that in chat.
That is exactly what I am looking for. I just want to find one with a like odd name. They all are kind of.
They're all so British. Is the thing.
Yeah, they're all extremely British.
The Netherworld is a really powerful title. A poor gentleman.
The perpetual curate. Married beneath him. Wow.
That's a title.
Sounds like a romance novel. Yeah. The Island of Dr. Moreau was written in 1896. What? Is that
Apparently.
old?
Yeah,
Dang.
apparently. The Evil Genius, a domestic story, just makes me.
Oh my goodness.
That's Elon Musk's biography, yeah.
Christ.
Oh my god.
Elon Musk. I can't do that.
Vicar of Bullhampton. Sorry, I got.
This one is just titled "Can You Forgive Her?" Question mark.
Wow, that's a little bit ominous.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What sort of mood do you want for the title?
That's what I'm. Yeah.
Kind of weird thinking about how like pretty much all of these are after the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I think for vibe, probably something somewhat dark / spooky / sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or not sinister, but like spooky
Foreboding.
/ or like foreboding or sad even. I actually no, it's not wisely but too well. That's what it is. Rhoda Broughton's Not Wisely but Too Well is the book that he is not translating, he is copying.
Transcribing. Yeah.
And which transcribe, like writing out by hand a printed book, as you do.
Yeah.
What
do you think his handwriting is? Do you think he has, or do you think after dying his handwriting is like, well, corporeal really helped me write, huh?
Well, is he writing with I think he's just writing with a ghost, like, quill and ink. I don't think he's writing with, I don't think he's picking up a real one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I think that his writing is, probably incredible. He's had centuries to master, thousands of different ways of
calligraphy.
he can just do fonts. He can just do any font he wants with his writing.
Hollow, write me in Comic
any
Sans.
font.
Yeah.
I don't think his visions give him access to Comic Sans just yet, but
not quite yet. Eventually they will.
Yeah.
Future
he hasn't helped that person
Hollow.
yet. Yeah.
Future Hollow will be writing in more modern fonts.
Iris,
Yeah.
Halloween anyway. But yes, that's the
I
book
think this is an elaborate, not super elaborate, elaborate with the capital letters, and the rest is just simple thin script. And where does he do this writing? I kind of like I kind of like the idea of it being in one of the rooms, like one of the house rooms that is in the way of people. It's in not the kitchen, because that's where the servants would be if this is a rich family. I want it to be in the way of the family. The parlor, I guess.
Yeah, they have
it's
a smoking room or something.
Yeah. But it's maybe the room that he used to write in was just a few feet higher than this one, so he's sitting in he would be sitting at a table, but he's sitting on a desk. Yeah. Or at least it looks like he's sitting on a desk.
Weirdly sexy for a friar, yeah.
Oh my god.
What about it sitting on a desk is sexy?
Yeah, okay, you walk into a room and somebody's crossed their legs and sitting on a desk. That right there, that's sexy.
Okay, if you say so.
Hollow would be aghast.
Yeah, truly. So
forgive me.
It's there's Hollow there, and there's a book floating in front of him, open as if it is resting on a table, and I don't think that the book. I don't think that the book that he is writing, that he's like transcribing this onto, is corporeal. And also it is like I think you could see it a little bit if you look really closely, but it's mostly like invisible. Yeah. Anyway, that's not important for the what is happening. I'm mostly stalling because I don't know what
Death, yeah.
I need to like think of where this place would be that he died.
I'd like to posit, I don't know in the church, but I'd like to put up, like, Victorian smoking rooms are a whole vibe.
Yeah.
Like, with all the leather and the books in them and everything.
Nice.
Yeah. Is there, maybe it's...
Would it be in the house or in the...
I think it's actually outside, because the
Oh. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
monastery, I forgot the word monastery for a second. Hang on. Sorry. The monastery was bigger than the house. So
Yeah.
I think it's like it could be in the garden, the back garden, which was just a room before.
Oh, like
Like it was probably, if he died like peacefully, it was probably like an infirmary type of thing. I would imagine, or
Plague or
either an
something, yeah.
infirmary or like a, depending on how what their practices were, like if there was like a place that you just go to, like, you know, relax and like
the
pray
other
and
option
all of that
here.
stuff as you're getting ready to die.
Yeah,
what's the other option?
The other option, rather than like getting sick, is like, I mean, if he had a heart attack or something while he was out, like
True, or is out
in the
doing something
field or
else.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
True.
it wouldn't have to be like a violent death, but there's other ways to like not be
that's true.
lying in a sick bed when you go.
Or just age, honestly. He could just die of age and like...
Yeah, old age is what I was thinking of in that, like with
Yeah.
that,
but you're usually like, waiting in a bed when that
yeah,
happens too.
which is what I was thinking.
That's all I was thinking. Yeah, which is fine.
No, I think that it's like, I think that there is like, so in the monastery, I think there was like a an inner courtyard,
sure.
or like an arbor,
Yeah,
an atrium
I know what you're
type
talking
thing.
about.
That was like a garden, and I think that was like where the oldest monks gathered just to like spend time together at whatever, each day or several times a week or whatever. And he was there like with a friend, and they were just sitting. They were probably like, they had younger monks had kind of like helped them out there, just to, or they probably like helped take care of them and stuff, and they like settled blankets over them, and they're just sitting there. And they I think that they both died, but one of them, but his friend like moved on right away. And so it's like so he became a ghost, but his friend moved on right away. And I think that something in this story that he is transcribing makes him either think about that friend or think about that moment.
What's the name of the story again? I forget. It was...
It was the not wisely but too well.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I have no idea what that story is about, but let's just pretend.
Sounds nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that there was like a phrase that a character said in there, and it was like the exact phrase. It was like something that his friend had said like often or something like that, which like wouldn't it be in English at that time, or like our English that
it roughly
yeah,
translates though.
roughly translates enough that it made him think of that. Yeah. And so I think it's quiet and there's not much to it. It's just, I mean, the prompt just says he's drawn there, which like he thinks of it. I think he leaves the book floating in the um in the smoking room.
It's like open to
And
the page or what. I don't know
yeah,
if people can read it, but
yeah, open to the page with that phrase on it, and just like walks through the walls, probably just takes a straight line, or not a straight line, but like the whatever the inner pathways of the monastery would have been to get to the atrium, which I think is I think it is in the back garden of the house. And I think he just goes out there and like hmm, I was gonna say like he sits like where he had been sitting. I guess he could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just sits exactly where he had been sitting when he died. And just like looks like like if anyone can see, maybe like Erlene is looking from a present day, um, and like looking to the side, like his head is turned to the side, and I think he's just like having a conversation with his friend who is not there.
we get like the flashes back in time or whatever, where we can see him sitting in his chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really nice.
That's a good ending for this guy. He deserves it.
Yeah. We still got one more scene, but
No, I just mean like a good ending for his life. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really nice. All right. Last one.
Yeah. So I'm doing the nighttime routine. Let me roll dice. Yeah, so he has dreams, which tell him how he did and who's next, and that's kind of thing. He roll 2d6. 36. I feel like we got that one. Maybe I'm
We just had 63.
Nope.
Oh, yes. A ghost you never thought you'd see again finds their way into your space. Oh, I want
in your dreams.
Yeah, in my dream space.
That's tasty.
Yeah, I kind of. If I go up or down? A friend drags you to a party. I don't really want to go to a ghost party. I mean, I do, but for different reasons.
Not right now. Yeah.
Yeah. A ghost you know confronts you about something. I like the one that we're on right now. It's very nice. I think in the dream, I mean, today he spent the evening reminiscing about his old friend, right? Maybe he gets to see what his friend's spirit is up to, up in heaven or wherever he moved on to.
I love that.
Is perfect because he often gets visions of like how his life affected other people.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, I wonder. It's either that or it's a vision that's like a flashback, kind of, of like how he affected his friend's life when they were alive. But I like the idea more. I think of, and I was thinking more along the lines of, because one of the things we said was, sometimes like they're comforting dreams, right? And this is like
it's like closure. It's like closure for him. Like
yeah,
a little bit.
So here's a thought. Here's a thought, and it might be incredibly contrived. But since like it's the end of the game and like we might want to take all the different threads and like tie them together.
Mm-hmm.
I know monks were celibate, but like maybe he had like family
secret daughter
who
or something.
Oh, yes.
And like the
Or-
daughter looks like Erlene in some ways, yeah.
Yeah, so like just descendants who came back.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, and that can be like what this conversation's about. Even
Mm-hmm.
that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Adela, you haven't played an NPC yet. Do you want
I
to
have not,
play
no.
the buddy,
Sure.
the ghost, and
Yeah.
that can be like kind of our. Ali, do you want to tell
Its
us
name
like kind of
is.
where, like what the setting looks like? Where are they? Like what does it look like around them? And then
Yeah.
Adela can take on this person and just have that conversation.
I think I want the setting to be in the church that they habitated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know too much about old churches, so I don't know what the different rooms of old churches are. Like a monastery.
Yeah.
But like somewhere they pray, I think is where I want this to be.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it's very plainly furnished. Monasteries aren't the same sort of like, oh, in Victorian England, it was all like, oh, stained glass and all this. Whereas I think the monasteries were more like earthy and like plain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a room that's decorated in wood, that kind of thing. And I think that Hollow and his friend, this is the room. This is like the room where they spend kind of praying and meditating to figure out like. I think they help each other write their sermons, kind of, or like. I
Oh,
guess
nice. Yeah.
they wouldn't be sermons per se, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I have
like,
a name for the friend.
Ooh, what
I
is
think
it?
I think that they use they them pronouns and their name is Edelwine.
Edelwine. Ooh, I like that.
Oh,
Very
that's
good
very
name.
nice.
It's an old English name that means noble friend. So
Yeah,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I think it's just Hollow and Edelwine in this room, and they're writing out their next sermons respectively. And I think Hollow says to them, any ideas for the next one? I don't know I can't do a good voice, so I'm just gonna say, any
It's fine.
ideas for your next work?
Yeah.
so sorry, I need to recap. This is a flashback or this is a dream, like totally contrived dream?
I should clarify. I think that this should be a dream. I want to follow what we set out, which is this is a dream.
So this
I
is
think
this is Edelwine like now, not
yeah. So
Edelwine.
yeah.
I think with that in mind, I think the only thing that Hollow says is Edelwine, just like with a question mark at the end.
Mm-hmm.
In a sort of like
Yeah.
Right.
melancholy.
Yeah. I think they like finish writing something and then they like in a like kind of a business, not business like but like a bustling kind of way, like roll up their parchment and then like to kind of tap it on the table, and then they look at the Hollow and say, old friend.
I never thought I'd really get to see you again.
I've been I don't. I'm trying to figure out the wording. Sorry.
That's probably what I said isn't great Old English wording,
No.
but
I mean, no, I'm not trying to do Old English wording. No, definitely not. I'm just tired.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think they say like, I've been watching for a long time and hoping that we would have a chance to speak again.
Have you been enjoying your time?
Immensely, though I do miss being among the people. You seem to be doing well with that.
I've always done well with that, I like to think. But there is work to be done.
And you do it well, old friend.
Wonder if I should yeah, I think he would be like, how's the daughter?
I'm trying to decide like if the daughter spends time with Edelwine in the afterlife, or if the daughter is like somewhere else, or if the daughter is like a ghost somewhere also.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea, I feel like Edelwine
Yeah.
was a holy person. I think
Yeah.
they deserved enough to get their daughter with them in the afterlife. Yeah.
Can you say your question again? I forgot the wording of what you said.
How's your daughter doing?
Wonderful. We have quite enjoyed watching the threads of her family, of our family, throughout the centuries, winding their way through the land. Always, and then they were like looking away kind of wistfully as they were talking, and then they look back at the hollow and they say, always finding their way home.
I met someone that reminded me of her today.
Did you? I do.
I should like to think she'll make a great student.
Her first lessons have already been your first lessons with her have already had an impact.
I appreciate your praise, Edelwine.
I think they say like, I've noticed my descendants tend to be on the fiery side. But they always even out in the end, especially with good and kind guidance like your own.
I think Hollow has a kind of a low, rumbly laugh, and he's kind of like, they take after their ancestor.
I think that Edelwine has like a deep booming laugh. And I think that they, unless you want to say other things, I kind of want to just like have them be laughing together.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And the camera just kind of pulls back.
Pans out. Yeah, exactly. Pulls back out of the dream to wherever you see the hollow like floating as he is sleeping, pulls back to seeing whatever Erlene is up to somewhere else in the house.
Just like the entirety of Gigglewitz, or what was it?
Yeah, pulls back to see the Giggleswick.
Giggleswick. Yeah, Giggleswick. Yeah.
Yeah. Gigglewitz is good too.
And
that's
then there's
great.
just the snow falling over the village, and that's
Yeah.
I am so full of feelings. This
Me
started
too.
out as something very humorous, and now I'm full of feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, that's pretty much the game. Last tiny bit is the epilogue, which is just after the last interruption is over, take some time to reflect on the day's events. Talk about how they changed your ghost and their routines.
Is Erlene going to be a regular part of the afternoon routine from now on?
I think so.
I think, yeah. I think like Hollow will always try to impress some ideals that Arlene just doesn't have onto her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think it makes a difference in its own way, you know?
It might even be like this is like a lot of detail for an epilogue, but I was like, what right before at some point when Erlene is like late teens and is leaving the house, like moving, the Hollow has one of those like future dreams that night of like her in the future, far in the future, where she actually has like thought about those ideals and is implementing them into her life.
Yeah.
More than she did as a child.
Oh, that's wholesome.
So good. I think that's perfect. I don't have anything to add to that. Well, cool.
Good game, Weston.
We did it. That was fun. I heard a lot about this game as it was being worked on. I was like, man, I really want to play that one.
I love it.
Well,
I love it
you
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parts come together really well here.
Yeah. This was so nice. You just, this is games, right? Like this you just never know like how it's gonna go, and then it like always turns out
We
pretty
started
good.
off with the snowball, and then we got some heart-wrenching stuff right there near the end, so
Right.
We started off with the Giggle Swick.
We started off with fucking Giggle Swick.
Yeah. Oh.
So I am going to say I looked up not wisely but too well, and I'm not sure how well it works as a novel for what we used
not.
Wait, what is it about?
Is it a romance?
The most thoroughly sensual tale I have read in English for a long time.
I'm reading some softcore in the smoking room.
Whoops.
And it reminded Hollow of their best friend. Interesting.
Yep, interesting.
We don't have to read into that.
Read into that what you will.
Well, this has been Habits of the Common House Ghost. Thank you all so much.
I can't believe
playing.
Please back the Kickstarter. It's a wonderful game, and you will love it.
Yes, game good. As you can see, as you just heard, game good.
Game good.
Oh, thanks so much, everybody. All right. Well, that's been us. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.